Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about a lot of things. H.L. Mencken said, "The urge to save humanity is almost always only a false face for the urge to rule it. Power is what all messiahs really seek, not the chance to serve." A few months ago, climate crazies in Australia blocked the streets for weeks. They kept people from getting to work, they kept people from shopping, they kept ambulances from coming through. Their goal was to completely disrupt civilization. This was allowed to go on by government for weeks because it was said that they were exercising their legitimate and inalienable right to protest. And a few months later, government gave the protesters exactly what they were asking for. Everything was shut down and people were denied the right to work. This woman in Sydney was protesting the fact that she was not being allowed to work and earn a living to feed her child. Despite the fact that she was holding a peaceful protest and was not doing anything to disrupt other people, the police showed up, arrested her, and traumatized her child. Suddenly, the inalienable human right to protest no longer existed. So let's ask the question, why did governments allow the climate protesters to shut down everything in an incredibly disruptive protest for weeks, but not allow this woman to make a single peaceful protest? The answer is simple. The climate protesters wanted to give the government more power, and by contrast, this woman was protesting what she believed to be government overreach. This woman wasn't a threat to public health or safety. All she wanted to do was feed her child, but she was a threat to government power and control. This is exactly what H.L. Mencken was saying. Leftists aren't saving the world from an invisible greenhouse gas molecule. What they're doing is seeking power. Now let's come across the ocean to the United States. 3 weeks ago, this Dallas salon owner was arrested for trying to feed her kids. The activist leftist judge sentenced her to a large fine and jail time. Trying to earn an honest living to feed your family became a crime in both Australia and parts of the United States. The right to protest and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness suddenly became illegal. Leftists pretty much described anyone who violated the rules of tyranny as being mass murderers. A few days ago, one of my best friends was physically assaulted by another customer in a Colorado supermarket. His crime was not wearing a mask. There was no mask rule in the supermarket, but this customer took it on himself to save the world. To their credit, Whole Foods Market caught the whole thing on tape and offered to file charges against the perpetrator of the assault. Leftists in Colorado have taken it on themselves to save the world from an evil virus and make sure that everybody obeys their rules. But then suddenly, the next day, everything changed. The left suddenly had a new excuse to shut down cities and destroy civilization, and social distancing rules no longer mattered. Apparently, the virus knows not to go after social justice warriors. These people don't get arrested for violating social distancing rules and group size rules. Only people trying to make a living to feed their families get arrested. Yesterday, Antifa officially declared a race-based war on America. Somehow, the virus and social distancing no longer mattered. The left is not trying to protect civilization from carbon dioxide, and the left is also not trying to protect civilization from a virus. What they seek is power and control. I've been around leftists my entire life, and I've seen that they're willing to change their opinion as many times as necessary to retain power. When I moved to Boulder, Colorado 25 years ago, lots of people had "Question Authority" bumper stickers on their cars. But a huge shift happened after Barack Obama was elected. Suddenly it became the rule that you are not allowed to question authority anymore. If climate fraudster Michael Mann says something, it's not allowed to be questioned. It doesn't matter how ridiculous or dishonest his statement is. The press and the political left treat this clown as some sort of god. Leftists are involved in a lot of really dangerous things right now. These things are uncomfortable to look at, and many people have chosen to close their eyes and pretend they don't see them. 225 years ago, Edmund Burke said, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing." And history shows us that's exactly what's happened every time evil has won. Good men felt uncomfortable and chose to look away. A long time ago, I made a decision that if information I was receiving made me feel uncomfortable, I would not run away from it. Rather, I would take a look at it closely and try to understand exactly why it was making me feel uncomfortable. Being unafraid is the only way to get to the truth and stop the spread of evil. Over the past 12 years, my pursuit of truth has been extremely costly. But that's a decision I voluntarily and happily made because I'm determined to do whatever I can to stop the spread of evil. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't feel like I was doing the right thing. Come join me and Toto at realclimatescience.com. We've been pulling back the curtain on junk science and propaganda for a long time.